And we're live with Melanie Taylor. And I'm sorry, Melanie. Oh my goodness, I've kept you
Why? No,
waiting.
not at all. Not at all. I was chilling. I'm sitting here chilling and
You look
just so
chilling in the white. You are so
you're
gorgeous.
you're too kind. I'm glad you were running a little late because that gave me a minute to, fix myself, pull myself together.
You're always so styling
Oh, just
and
having fun.
what I
Just having
love
fun.
that you really think about it. You give it energy, even when you're just like hanging around the house.
Pretty
And you
much.
always give me great suggestions for places to go shop and stuff. So,
Oh, good.
were you
Oh, good.
like a dress up girly girl?
Yeah, I got it from my grandmother, who was a huge influence in my life, and she raised me along with my mom and my family. My grandma was very stylish. One of my favorite pictures of her, I think I may have put it on Facebook. She's coming in from work, and she opens the door, and she's got on this like little kind of Diane von Furstenberg little shift and a headscarf and some big sunglasses, back in the 70s in a clutch. And I'm like, she's just coming back from work, but she would change out of her uniform and put on street clothes to get back on the bus and come home because that's just how she rolled until she passed. Even her PJs were fancy and she'd wear her red lipstick even when she was, in her sunset of her life. So yeah, I guess you could say she's a big influence. I just like to play dress up. I do. I was a stylist for a while.
Were you?
I've done a lot of styling. Yeah, I've done some commercials, a little TV. I worked with Lou Eyrick, who is now a real big shot producer and
Wow.
costume designer for a gentleman who does oh Lord, American Horror Story. So she started working with him. So I worked with Lou and assisted her and learned how to do studio services and how to shop. And I just love it. I do. I just love it. If I wasn't doing music, I'd probably be doing something in fashion for sure. Yeah.
Well, it absolutely shows.
Thanks.
I get the feeling like you do this at home. Like you have styling pajamas and everything, right? Like you're styling at home.
It's caftan season 2. It's a miracle I don't have a caftan on. Yeah, Terry just laughed at me. I change clothes twice a day. I mean, it happened during COVID too, Vicki, because we were, housebound, as you know. Everyone was just like looking for stuff to do, and I don't have many hobbies. So I just started dressing up. I just started going to my closet, and I would dress up and put on a crazy
I
outfit.
remember seeing your posts
Yeah,
all
yeah,
the
yeah.
time.
Okay, good. Yeah, Corona Couture for the coronavirus. So that's how bored I was. It wouldn't play
I,
so well today, but it was something to do.
I
Anyway,
love
so
it.
yeah, clothes are great. I mean, I think more women should have more fun with clothes and how and hair and makeup. If you don't like it, like wash your face, change your outfit and keep it moving. I feel like it's such a low stress, thing to do for yourself just to have fun.
So if you're on a budget, because we've talked about this. Okay, here's the other thing. You've educated me about how you travel, and we're going to talk about that
Oh
because
my
you've gotten to
gosh.
travel around the world. Your work
That's
has
true.
kept you moving,
Yes,
and
ma'am.
you've gotten to see the world. But
Yeah.
you travel light, and I do not. So now, how do you do it?
That's funny.
How do you change twice a day and travel light? How do you do this?
Well, okay. So I kind of do have a formula.
Okay.
And what the first thing I will say to any,
Formula, I
I,
love
I
it.
have listen. You got to have a formula. You got to make lists. I'm always writing.
I'm a
Even this
lister.
conversation, you're a lister, right? My thing is figure out how long you're going to be gone. I was just gone for 27 days.
All right,
That's
so were we. We were gone.
yeah.
Yeah.
Y'all were
Okay.
gone for about the same time.
Right.
My thing is you're not going to the moon, okay? There's going to be shops and pharmacies and drugstores and whatnot everywhere you go. So don't panic pack. There's no panic packing. I pick 3 colors. It might be
Oh.
gray, olive, and black, let's say. And everything I bring is in that color scheme. And then you can like zhuzh up your thing with accessories. Maybe you like a red crossbody bag or a red pair of sneakers or whatever. You know what I mean? Like if you like a little color, I'm easy either way. Especially when I'm traveling on tour, there's no fashion. I mean, you don't really have it. You're not really going out. You're going like from hotel to venue and to bus and
We
rinse
don't
and
go to
repeat.
posh.
And if you
We
don't go to posh places, but
we
even
we
if you do,
trotteria.
okay, I heard that. But even if you do go someplace posh, like bring one piece that's your vibe, a sparkle or something
Right.
chiffony or whatever your vibe is,
Right.
a leather vest, I don't know, and make that like your hero piece that you can wear out to dinner or to cocktails or to a
But
museum
then what
with
do
a
you do
cool
about the
blazer.
photographs? Then you're wearing the same thing in on all the photographs.
Well, you're not yes and no. So the you bring like one pair of black jeans, one pair of blue jeans, maybe. Like I've gone with just one pair of jeans because invariably it's
27
less.
days,
Yeah,
one pair of jeans.
I had one pair of jeans, and and then I had like I have these great leggings that I found on Amazon that have pockets. They're really nice quality, thick. They're not the cottony ones. They
Right.
have pockets. They have a high waist, and they have like a little control top kind of thing. These
I
things are
love it.
genius. Okay,
I
in the
love
winter
that.
time, I'm telling you, in the winter time, you wear them with sneakers. I mean, with boots, and a blazer, and a gray cashmere sweater, and a scarf, and out the door. I always have a blazer, or like a big jean shirt, thinking in layers and in things that all go together.
And how do you
And
wash? We were staying in places there were no washing machines.
I
We
know.
couldn't wash.
Yeah, we were just in a place where it was hard to get laundry done. I bring two pairs of knickers for every day. So that's like, you know what I mean?
Right.
That way that's covered.
Right.
And any kind of sort of lingerie item you can rinse out in the sink. And you
Right.
bring
That I
like the
was
little
doing.
Tide packets. Right.
Yeah.
Everything else, I mean, listen, you're going to be a little dusty. You might. You might be a little dusty, and you bring the Febreze and you hit it here and you hit it there and you keep it moving. When you get undressed, you put your jacket out, in the room, let it kind of air out because you're not a dirty person, are you? Are you? Some of y'all know how y'all are living. Some of y'all might be a little, on the border. And just bring, socks and stuff. And again, like if you run out of something, like I was lame. I literally brought two pairs of socks for 27 days because I forgot because I just forgot to pack socks. So I popped over to the Primark and I bought 10 pairs of socks.
Right.
You dig?
Right.
So that was kind of it. And I just think in terms of layers, like three long sleeve t-shirts, a rock and roll tee, whatever your vibe is. Like I know that's your vibe, and a sweater for the plane that you can wrap up as a robe in the hotel, like a cool long. You know what I mean? You don't have to spend a lot, y'all. Y'all can go to Target, Amazon, Walmart, whatever, or you can go thrifting. There's some great thrift stores around. I like to go to the locally owned as opposed to the big chains if possible. There's like this, the Cancer Society has thrift stores. So you kind of like accumulate little pieces along the way. I just suggest, solids, keep the prints down to a minimum, and then everything will go together. And packing cubes. I
Wait,
could
wait,
go
what,
on and
wait,
on.
what?
I use packing cubes.
Okay, I know about the rolling. I roll everything now. Do
Yeah,
you roll?
I do. I do roll, and I roll, and then I put it in a packing cube.
Okay,
So,
what's a cube?
well, a packing cube, these, I could do this for hours. So
Okay,
y'all just bear with us.
we're educating. This
Yeah, we
isn't
are.
this is
This is
informing.
this is informative. So packing cube. So it's on again with the Amazon, but so you get. I think there's a set of six,
Yeah.
and so there's a couple of large ones and a couple medium-sized ones, and then like this, and then sometimes you'll get like a shoe bag or a laundry bag with like a drawstring, and so I pack by categories. All the bottoms go in one, like a pair of sweats, a pair of leggings, a pair of jeans, pajamas, whatever. And then the next one is going to be my t-shirts, my 2 or 3 long sleeve t-shirts, my 2 or 3 rock tees, and maybe 3 or 4 tank tops. Because that's the thing that's closest to your body. So you want to maybe bring more of those. Just those little camisole tank tops we all wear, right?
Right.
Then the next, and so that'll be like the second bag. And there might even be room in there for a little cardigan sweater or a
Now, why do you take the
t-shirt.
room for the bag rather than just rolling everything and putting it in the suitcase?
Because then I can go, I need a pair of bottoms. And I pull out the bag of bottoms. And then I put it back in the
Uh,
suitcase. Or if you're staying someplace for an extended amount of time, like we just did, you take the packing cube out and you put it in a drawer, or you stick it in the closet or whatever. You dig? That's like,
I
it's genius. And it's really hard to overpack if you only have this little zipper, bag thing.
I love this.
Okay.
I
And then
love
on the
this.
plane, I have a rolling backpack that I'm obsessed with. I need to get another one because, as soon as I don't buy another one, it's going to break a wheel and then they're going to discontinue it. This thing, I swear, I can't believe how much stuff I can put in it, but you always, always, always do not check anything that you can't afford to live without. Your medications,
Right.
your jewelry, your cords for your what's the name,
Your
your
jewelry.
devices.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah.
Do not check your jewelry. I don't care if it's from Forever 21. You don't
I
want to
was
be
going to say
without it.
your costume jewelry. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
I
Uh-huh.
if I mean the only real jewelry I wear, I have a watch that I really love. It's a Gucci. I've had it for about 15.
I don't take off the stuff I
Exactly.
wear the same.
And
Yeah, that I wear
and
that all the
that's great
time.
too.
Yeah,
See
yeah,
if you
yeah,
have jewelry that you can wear all the time, but
yeah,
whatever it is, y'all,
yeah.
whatever jewelry
The
and it,
feathers, yeah, the
the
feathers have to go
feathers
on the
can go.
plane.
The
Yeah.
feathers have to go on the plane. Listen, you can't fly without feathers. So you get the idea. Anything, and I always have this grand idea that I'm going to read a lot or journal or
Wait, wait,
write or
wait.
whatever.
Any clothes in that backpack in case they lose your suitcase?
Yeah, I've never lost a bag. I'm knocking wood.
Yeah,
In all my
I know. Me
years.
too. Yeah, yeah.
Gosh,
Wow.
I feel so fortunate because
Yeah.
you hear the horror stories, but absolutely, you bring a spare pair of knickers and socks, and maybe an extra little pullover or a sweatshirt. Well, you're going to wear your sweatshirt on the plane, right? You're
Right.
going to wear your heavy stuff. You're going to wear
Now, what about
maybe
something for the stage in case?
well. If I'm traveling with a name artist, all of
Then
those.
they have all your stuff.
That's right. It's all in the
Right.
truck. It's all been packed in advance.
Right.
If I had if I was landing and said I have a meeting to go right to, I just want to make sure that I'm wearing something presentable that I can wear right off the plane if something should go sideways. Like I
Right,
always have a
right.
blazer. I have a men's vintage blazer that I love to pieces that I got in Vegas. It's an Armeno. I can't pronounce his name. It's an Italian guy. It's fabulous. It looks like raw silk, and I wear it with jeans, with a long slip dress, with everything.
I
It looks
love
great with
that.
leggings and sneakers and a t-shirt or a little
I
sweater.
love that.
You know what I'm saying? And you put some pins on the lapel, like whatever. Like you can, as long as it feels like you're you,
Yeah.
then you don't have to reinvent the wheel to go traveling. I don't recommend it because you're just going to be miserable. I've definitely gone on trips where I'm like, who packed this suitcase? Oh, it was me. That's right. I
So,
tried too
okay,
hard.
so when you went for 27 days,
Yeah.
how many suitcases did you have?
Oh, just one.
Oh my God.
I had one suitcase in my rolling backpack that I brought on the plane.
Wow.
And so I have three suitcases, right? I
What
have,
about footwear?
oh, sneakers, boots, Birkenstocks. That's it.
Wow.
I know. I don't fool around because I promise you, you're going to end up carrying it more than you're going to end up wearing it.
It's the truth. It's the truth.
And you know what? And if I don't, if even if I'm sitting down like we did for almost a month, who wants to fool around like, well, gosh, well, it's dirty or I lost it or it doesn't go or I don't know. It cuts down on all
Thinking.
the thinking. I like to bring, depending on the weather, but kind of any time. I like to bring a solid black dress, like a midi length dress. I have a really cool one that I think it's Michael Stars, but everybody makes them. Madewell, Free People, literally even Target, and just a tank style that you can wear as a dress or as a skirt. And by that I mean you pop the dress on and then you pop on a really cool like cashmere oversized pullover or a t-shirt with your jewelry and it's like it has two different looks, you
Right.
see.
Right.
Yeah. So
Or
I
that
love that
blazer.
that blazer. I'm telling you, it's a hero piece. I wore it every day. Every day. All
Wow.
the pictures of me in London, you'll say, oh, there it is again. I love stripes. A striped t-shirt is great over that black dress with that blazer, you know what I'm saying? Or the jean shirt or jean jacket. A lot of gals love jean jackets. I go through phases. I love an army jacket. Army, olive green, and black look awesome together, even gray, maybe with the red, sandal or sneaker or whatever. I'm big on sneakers. I have like 20 pair and I wear them all the time. And I never
So
used
how
to
do you
wear.
choose the one you're going to take with you?
I have a pair that's sort of the one I think the ones I brought with me were black snakeskin, not real
Ooh.
snakeskin, but they're printed. So
Yeah.
they again has a little like personality. But I just love a white Stan Smiths. They're great. Converse. A lot of women love Converse. I have a Gazelle, like an Adidas Gazelle shoe that I really like. A sneaker that's a platform. I'm short. And I like a little height, and it just kind of puts a little bounce in your walk. You can kind of like you can walk all day with like a platform sneaker. So those are or even black sneaker. I guess I like something with a little more that's not black. So I have a silver sneaker that I wore to death. I got at Zara. Or silver
This is
sneakers.
fantastic. This is a total
Yeah,
education. I'm
yeah.
ordering those bags. Snuffy's gonna thank you.
I,
I'm
you're
ordering those
welcome,
bags.
Snuff.
I'm ordering the bags.
Order the bags.
I'm
I
ordering the
know. I
bags.
have three. And the other thing I want to say one more time, one more thing is that
Wait a minute. What about all the toiletries? Where do you put those?
oh yeah, those go well. Believe it or not, I found these other bags that are kind of square. Because so when you go on the plane, right, and you want to bring something, you want to bring your spray and your lip gloss or your lip balm and all the things that keep you from drying up.
Right.
I found these incredible bags that are not flat, like they say. Oh, put everything in a quart size
Right.
bag, right, ladies? These are legal. I've never had, even at Heathrow, which they don't mess around. You already know. Heathrow is very strict. They didn't stop me. I was like, oh Lord, I hope. But these bags are cool. They're square. They're like that they're flat on the bottom, and then they're like a little square, like three-dimensional square. Okay. You can put so much crap in there, and as long as your thing is 3 point whatever 2 ounces or 4 ounces,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
I put my tube of sunscreen, I put my lotion, I put an oil that I use on my hair, my nails, whatever. It all fits in there. And anything that's not liquid can just go in a Ziploc or whatever and throw that in your check baggage, such as your solid deodorants or your solid powder or whatever if you're doing any kind of makeup. I have makeup sticks that go double duty, triple duty. Like the stuff I have on my cheek right now, you can also put it on your lip. If listen, I know makeup, everybody's got their own makeup routine, but you can put so much in this bag. I can send links to you that you can share with your people.
All right. I'm loving
I
this.
don't bring a lot of toiletries and stuff because you get a lot of stuff in the hotel. Or once again, when you get where you're going, go buy something. There's some great pharmacies in France and Italy and Spain, or in New York. Go to Bigelow and just stock up, get a few things for your trip. And just so you
It's
don't stress out like squirting into the other little bottles and all that kind of stuff. I don't know. You can get trial sizes of anything these days too. So
it's wonderful.
yeah,
All right. So let's talk about Melanie Taylor now. Let's talk about you.
I'm so
So
happy to finally talk to you. I
I
know we're
am too. I
good
am
friends
too.
and funny friends and sassy friends. And every time we see each other, I feel like it's on the
It's
fly. So
love. It's love. It's love.
it's
And
big
I
love.
remember,
Yeah.
do you remember the first time I met you?
No,
I
maybe
do.
I do. Okay, you tell me
Okay,
because
so the first time I met you, you came to my living room because Terry was playing
with
Women Who
Michael
Write.
Cole.
Yeah, and that was about 8 years ago or so.
Are
It
you
was about
kidding? Was it that long?
7 years ago. It was a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a while ago.
It was
Yeah,
certainly before COVID.
it
Hello,
was
everything
before.
was
Yes, it was
BC.
before. Yeah, that's
Oh
right.
my God.
I don't even. Yes, it
Oh,
was.
I
And you
know.
came,
That's
and it was like this
right.
is this is my girlfriend. You were his girlfriend at the time before you guys
Yeah.
got married.
Yeah.
And
That's
what
right.
did I know? And then I looked you up, and it was like, oh my God, Harlette, are you
Yeah.
kidding me?
I
I mean,
know.
that
Wild.
just blew my mind. Okay, so I want
Yeah.
to talk like how
Blew
you
my mind
started
too.
because I and what blows my mind even more is you have to tell us how you got the gig because I know you didn't have an agent and you got an audition. But before you get
Yeah.
to that,
Yeah.
when you're a girl, singing is not your thing. Okay, so your mother is like a world-class pianist.
Yeah, she is.
She's
She's magnificent. Yeah, my mom was
Althea
a
Waite.
was a yeah, Althea Waite. My mom Althea Waits is a world-class pianist and she was a piano prodigy. So my whole family's from New Orleans. I was born and raised in New Orleans, and my mom was like I said, prodigy. She made her debut with the New Orleans Symphony at 16 or 17,
Oh my
and
Lord. Now,
I
how
know
about her parents, musical?
my grandmother and grandfather, her mom and dad. My grandmother sang, but no one played.
Oh,
My grandma tells the story. Used to tell the story that mom would just start like reaching up for the spinet and like plunking on the keys when she was just a little girl. So she started lessons at 6,
so
I
there was a
think.
piano in the house.
Uh-huh, there was,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And then she just started plunking, then like started playing at church and just doing all the things. And she has a tremendous gift. And I can't find middle C, just in case anyone's curious. I got nothing.
Your
I've got
mother didn't
nothing.
make you take piano lessons when
She
you were little?
didn't. I wish she had.
It's like the
But she
shoemaker's
didn't.
daughter. My father was a Hebrew teacher and a singer. I didn't take
Okay.
singing lessons and I
See?
didn't I didn't take Hebrew lessons.
Isn't that wild? I know. And of course now at my big age, I wish
Me
But
too.
yeah, right. Come on, dad, mom and dad. But she just was kind of like, oh, you'll find your way and you'll do whatever. So I started dancing at 6.
And what kind of
And
dancing were you doing?
well, I made I still have my first costume. I don't have it framed or anything
Oh
yet.
my God, I love that.
I know. I was in the Arabian Nights. I was a little dancer in the Arabian Nights in New Orleans in a little school production and a civic production. I forget. Anyway, and I just kind of never stopped. I did a little. I played a little viola and violin for a few years. Not even a few years. And
Did you have talent for it?
for the viola, no, but for dancing, I did.
Well, that
Yeah.
that I
I mean,
know.
I
I've
learned
seen
how to
that in
play.
action.
Thank you. I learned how to play, but I was kind of always in motion. I'm very kinetic. And so that just came more naturally to me. But I also did like, I was in Starcapades, which was like little performing troops, and did a lot of that. And then I didn't really start singing until I was in high school. And even then it was just because I could sing. I didn't It was never an ambition. It was never something I wanted to
But now
do.
your father was an opera singer. Yes.
Yeah, yes, he
Yeah.
was. He was an opera singer. He even sang for a couple of presidents, and he used to sing at
Wow.
city halls and stuff. And he was he was Old Deuteronomy in Cats, in a production of Cats. So he had the theater performing bug in a different way than my mother. So I come by it honestly. I never really intend. My grandma sang, and she was kind
Did
of
you
the
guys sing around the house? Was that like the thing?
no. What I know though, what I remember really well is that I used to watch the variety shows. And my grandmother especially was like, there she goes again with the Carol Burnett and the Ed Sullivan. And I remember, I'm giving away my age and I don't care, but I remember when the Beatles were on Ed Sullivan. I was just
Hell yeah.
I mean, we were just little bitty kids, but my grandma used to tell a story that
Well, I
like,
wasn't as bitty as you, but yeah.
close, it's so close. I remember doing this, but my grandma said I was watching the television, little Philco TV with the rabbit ears,
Oh God, yeah.
and I walked, and it was I remember it was on a cart, like on a
What's this
gold
going on?
cart, and I walked around the back of the TV to see
Oh,
if
you
I
wanted
could
to
get
see
in.
if they were in there?
Yeah, I wanted to see if I could get in because I thought, well, I need to be there. Like this is the coolest thing I've ever seen in my life, my little life. And so ever since then, that was like huge. I would watch the Hollywood Palace. I don't know if
Oh,
that.
sure.
Do you remember?
Oh,
Oh
sure.
my God! And Shirley
Oh,
Bassey would turn up, and Diane Carroll, and Nancy Wilson, and all these women, and I would just be like, "What is happening? I want some of that." But I carried on dancing instead. I didn't really sing because that never really occurred to me that
so
it
what kind
was.
of dancing were you doing?
I was doing jazz mostly, jazz and tap, and theater dancing because I ended up
Right.
getting a degree in dance and theater
And
from
so
Cal
what
State
kind of
Fullerton.
what kind of roles were you playing in school?
I did Nikki and Sweet Charity.
Of
I
course
was
you
in
did.
I was in the Merchant of Venice. I was in Anything Goes and Guys and Dolls. Lots of tapping, lots of dancing, lots of musicals, that sort of thing. West Side Story. Was I Jesus
Faith
Christ
Prince
Superstar?
might be watching this show. She watches
Who?
sometimes. Faith Prince.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she was in
Hello.
Guys and Dolls on
Wow.
Broadway. She's
I know,
a
killing it.
person.
Didn't she?
Yes.
Could develop a cold.
Yes,
Yeah,
she did.
I think she won the Tony, didn't
I
she?
think she did.
Yeah, much deserved. Wow,
Yes.
what a legend.
So, okay, so you were doing all of that in
Yeah,
school, and
yeah.
singing was a byproduct, the dancing was really the passion, the acting, all of that. And so, how did you break out? How did singing become the thing?
Somebody offered to pay me to sing something.
That's a good reason.
I mean, I thought you're gonna pay me. It's just this little thing. So, and this was late, much later. Like I think I was still in college. I was in college, and I had been doing the musicals and doing all the things, but mostly dancing is the hybrid. Like I was doing a little bit of both,
Right.
and singing was just a
What did you think you
byproduct,
were
like you
going to
said.
do, Mel? What did you think you were going to do how did you think you were going to make your living?
I love that question. My dream was to join a dance company and travel the world. Like Twyla Tharp, like not Ailey because I didn't wasn't proficient in
Modern.
ballet,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
modern, yeah.
Mhm.
So that was my dream, and I actually was really drawn to Shelley Washington was her name, and she was the only black woman in Twyla's company. And when they did the Catherine Wheel with David Byrne back in the 70s, she was the family dog, the family pet. And she was so animated and so amazing. And I remember thinking, I just would love to do that. And if I remember correctly, at the time, Twyla was giving, she had full benefits, medical benefits for her dancers, and she was really a pioneer in like really looking after her people. And I thought, shoot, that's cool with me. And there were a couple other companies that I was interested in, but I just wanted to join a modern company and let
And did
that
your
be
mother
that.
support you in
Yeah,
that
100%.
vision?
Yeah, she did. She was like, you know yourself, you know what you want. I'm a performer, and an educator.
Mm-hmm.
She knew that teaching was really my track because didn't want to take the time to get a master's,
Mm-hmm.
and so I just wanted to get out of school and start working, which is exactly what happened. But about the singing sort of
I'm gonna
showing
have to
up,
talk about my accident, by the way,
what
what my
happened?
hair looks like.
Your hair looks. Okay, tell everyone what happened. I still don't understand why this happened.
Well, I spilled iced coffee, that cold brew coffee, a whole thing leaked
Oh,
into down through my entire refrigerator
oh my
40
God.
minutes before we were going on the air. So we had to take I had to take every single
Everything out.
can that we had filled and wipe every single thing down in every single drawer and every single shelf and every single everything. And I was stepping in coffee and then yeah. So I'm
And they're
having
all stocked up for 4th of July. Like,
and
who
all
isn't?
stocked up because the kids are
Terry just
coming.
ran
Yeah.
out to the market and it was like a zoo out there. So, yeah, everyone's stocked up.
So the refrigerator is packed with LaCroix
Oh,
and Diet Coke and all of that stuff, and
yum.
every single thing had to be wiped down.
That is so
So
annoying.
so that's why we were a couple minutes late, and that's why I kept Melanie waiting, and that's why I'm having a really bad hair day.
You look
Anyway,
fabulous. You always do. And you got
yeah.
crystals earrings on and stuff. You got my little free people top on there. You need to get me my clothes back. But anyway, yeah.
Okay, so
Anyway, yeah,
so
so I was in school and a friend of my friend Lisa Gonzalez and I would go see this guy in a club. His name is Gary Dalton. Hey Gary, if you're watching, thank you because I've already told him this. I owe him my career. He had a song that he wanted me to. He
Melanie, be
wanted.
careful going when you lean in. We're
Oh,
getting bounce back on the sound, so
oh,
on the
sorry about
audio.
that.
Yeah, that's
Okay, cool.
okay. Just be
Yeah, I told
careful.
you I
Yeah.
was kinetic. Okay, okay. And then there was the time. So thank you for that.
Yes.
Gary just needed a singer, and I didn't know what he meant. Like he said, well, if you come over to the studio, and we'll just do this track, and it's a demo for this or that. And I said, oh, okay. Well, I didn't know how to sing on a microphone, and so I just been singing in theater, like singing to
Right
the
to the
back
back of
row.
the house.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Singing to the back of the
Yeah.
house. So I go over to his house and his studio, and he had already like played me the tape and given me an idea, and so I proceed to
Did
start.
you know how to sing harmony like on your, was it your, did you sing harmony instinctually or did you have to learn that?
No, I just did it from listening. I can just
Wow.
hear the chords in my head, and also I have
Wow.
to say all that listening to the Supremes, the Temps, the Tops, the Beach Boys, the Bee Gees, Steely Dan. Like I just train my ear. I just can I just pull out a
No,
part
that's
and
that's a gift. That's a
is
gift.
it.
Yeah, that's not natural.
Anyone can, yeah, but I would do needle drops. Like I'd play the song over and over and over again until I would memorize it or learn the part. Then I go, oh, there's another something else above that. Like what's that one? And then I'd go and I'd listen again. I'd do needle drops on the vinyl over and over and over again. It got to the point where I was wearing out turntables just listening over and over again. That's how I learned harmony. And also I sang it.
Did you learn that before you started doing it or did that become your work after?
I just did it because I loved music and I would go to the music store when I was a kid. We moved from New Orleans to Riverside, California when I was in the second grade. And
Oh, yeah,
yeah, but
okay.
I mean, but New Orleans is always home and it's kind of my true north. But I will say we'd go to the record
Tony
store
just asked if there's a support group for panic packing.
for what now? Panic
Panic
packing.
pack.
I can start one. I'll get you guys whipped into shape, I promise. Because I was going to say, there's something else I want to say about packing. There's a medium-sized suitcase that will never weigh more than 42 pounds, and so you will never have to worry about overpacking.
Wow.
Even if you pack it full, that's the one I use, the middle-sized one, and then my backpack, and then a little tote bag, whatever. But I digress.
Okay.
Anyway, I
So,
should write a blog or something.
You should really
I should.
write tips
I
about
should.
this. You
Okay,
really
good.
should. Okay.
So I started listening. I would go to the record store. I'd buy 45s for like, whatever they were,
Oh
75
yeah.
cents, right? And
Uh-huh.
we'd do the thing. And so I would just, that's how I was just curious. This was when I was just a kid. This had nothing to do with like me pursuing anything. So by the time I got to school, high school, like I said, I would do chamber singers, which is, we know what chamber sing madrigals. Some people call it madrigals.
Uh-huh.
And there were four singers in each section: four sopranos, four altos, four tenors, four basses. And so that's 16 of you, right? And so you would go out and do Christmas and stuff, but we'd also do classical pieces and we'd do pop, and everyone has a little uniform outfit, whatever, evening gown, whatever. So that was really fun. So I did that in high school. I did concert choir in high school. So I've been singing in choirs and churches and stuff all my life.
Okay.
But I never aspired to be a capital S singer ever, ever. Not until I got that little check. Now, see, and I thought, oh, I didn't realize, I don't know why it never dawned on me that it was a viable career because I was so focused on dancing and maybe going to Broadway, going to
I
moving to
was
New
going to
York.
say, but how about with the,
Yeah,
Broadway actor,
yeah,
dancer?
yeah. It never happened because I started working right out of college. So I never, so many of my friends moved to New York and some did really well and some moved back home. It's like anything. But I never really got the chance to go to New York because I immediately started singing and performing right out of college.
Okay, so how did that happen? What was that?
I went and auditioned for Disney, and there was a show that was happening. There was a show that
You're
was
so
happening.
pretty. I'm looking at you. You're like so beautiful. I'm like looking how perfect
So
your hair
sweet.
is, your makeup, your jewelry. And then I'm looking over at my square and I'm going, what the?
You are
Anyway, no, I'm
so
like, I
goofy.
look,
Stop.
yikes.
I
Anyway,
think you're
you look
gorgeous.
fantastic.
Thank
Okay,
you.
so go ahead.
I have a
So
lot of help. There's lighting everywhere, and
no,
there's
no,
a
no.
fan on, so I'm not schwitzing.
You look fabulous. So you go
Sweet.
to
Thanks,
Disney
Vicki.
and what
Yeah.
what's what's
So the audition
what's
process is
yeah.
crazy, right?
Oh,
I mean, it is.
how's
It's like it's kind of a cattle call.
yeah.
You sing, you dance, and then you sing, and you dance, and you sing. Like it's
And
the
this
whole
is to
thing.
do live shows for Disney.
Yes, correct. And I wanted to. There was a show that was happening on the rivers of America, and I just wanted to dance, have my summer job. I might have been thinking about going back to school. I can't remember, but anyway, I just wanted the summer job. That's all I thought was available to me. So I show up, I dance, I make it through a couple of cuts. I don't get the job. I'm crushed. I'm like,
Oh.
shit, now I gotta go waitress or do whatever. We called it waitressing back then, y'all. Now we're servers,
Yes,
but that's
servers, right?
okay.
Yeah.
Right.
I
It's
was a
all,
waitress too.
thank you, sis. Right. So I was like, oh, for crying out loud, now I gotta go, get a waitressing job. So I go home, do whatever, and then I get a call from the talent department saying, we really thought you were great. You weren't quite right for this, but we have this other thing that we're doing, and it's a trip to Europe, and it's with this troupe, and we're going to do the first intercontinental flight from Los Angeles to Helsinki, and and it's sort of like it was back in the day. Do y'all remember? What I'm trying to say, like corporate gigs,
Sure.
industrials.
Yeah,
It was
sure.
essentially right. It was essentially an industrial, and I said, oh, okay, and it was for less time, but I thought whatever. So they said, okay, well, you're going to be joining the Kids of the Kingdom. What? So that's like Up with People, right? Or
Oh,
there's another group.
sure. I remember Up with
Oh my, Young
People.
Americans. It's like Young Americans or Up with
Sure.
People, but it's Disney's in-house troupe of dancers, singers,
Sure.
Kids of the Kingdom. So I did Kids of the Kingdom for like 3, 4, or 5 years after that.
Oh,
It
so
was
like what kind
amazing.
of songs did the Kids of the Kingdom
Disney
sing?
songs.
Disney song.
When you wish upon a star, makes no difference who you are. I mean, with the ography and everything, and with the jazz hands. It was
Oh yeah.
awesome. It was so
Oh
awesome. I made
yeah.
lifelong friendships and got to use all. the stuff I had studied. I mean, it was
That's
just like,
so
this is
great.
unbelievable. And you're going to put me on a plane and I get to, it's my first plane ride. My whole
Wow.
family came to the airport. It was so great. I have somewhere, I'll show you another time. I still have Polaroids of us all cheesing at the airport,
This is
all
fantastic.
dressed up, going to the gate back when you could do.
This is
So
fantastic.
that was that.
Oh,
And
right, when
then
your
yeah.
family could go to the gate with you.
Yes.
Sure,
And there's like
sure,
this
sure.
picture of all my whole family crammed into the little,
Oh,
Polaroid camera thing, little
oh.
Kodak throwaway camera. So that was that. I was off. That was that. And I was using my degree and making money and performing. And it was life changing, of course. And I never saw it coming. I just was trying to get a job as a dancer, and I feel very, very grateful for my Disney days. It was like boot camp,
Were
you
you
know.
making, and you were making pretty
Decent
good?
bread, as I
Yeah.
recall. It was like
Uh-huh.
probably, I don't know, $125 a day or something back in the
Yeah.
80s.
Yeah.
That was good money if you're working
Yeah.
4 days a week. Shoot.
Yeah.
I kept
Yeah.
my bills paid, kept my lights on, and was able to go
Yeah.
take class in LA. And I also, then I did start, auditioning for other things because it allowed you to, you had time. So that was kind of like in the 80s. And then I went to Japan for 9 months for Disney and sang with a band.
Wow.
And that was really amazing. So yeah, things started coming in. I think my first celebrity gig was thanks to my friend Debbie Weeks Hammond, if you're listening. Thank you, Debbie. I love you. Was with Connie Stevens, who
Oh
was
my God.
fabulous, I have to
Connie
say.
lives in the same place where my mom lives.
Oh my
Yes.
gosh, she was
Yes.
so cool and so
I
sexy and,
interviewed Lady Kazan
kitteny.
in Connie Stevens' house right before the pandemic.
Come
I
on.
did. I
Connie Stevens,
did.
the house with the big fish tank in the middle?
I don't
What?
know. We were in the
Okay.
kitchen.
Okay.
But yeah,
Where we all
probably.
hang out in the kitchen. How about that? What a small world. Well, she
So
was
Connie
great.
Steve, she was
Yeah, I just
gorgeous.
gorgeous and so talk about fashion. She had such great vibe, kind of like you, like hippie vibe, like like rich boho. You know what I mean, with all the jewelry and the fun, cool kaftani kind of chiffon dresses, and her hair was like la la la. We all know
She
Connie.
was
Connie was
gorgeous.
fabulous. She's still with us? So, and her
Yes,
daughters would come out.
yes.
Jolie and Trisha would come out and sing sometimes. I just did a
Oh,
week
how
on a cruise ship with Connie. And we essentially talk about fancy. Had the whole week off because she was the headliner, and we didn't perform until the last, like second to last day. So we
right,
had the whole week on board,
right.
and would just have fun and just have cocktails and go by the pool and work on music a little bit. So that was with my BFF Debbie at the time. It was great. So that was my first foray into that
And
world.
so, how was that experience? Your first foray being a backup singer for a
Yeah.
famous celebrity. How was your relationship with Connie, and how did she treat you guys? And
she
how
was
was all
really
that?
she was really kind to us. I was really nervous, of course, just trying. But my friend Debbie, she was great, and I can't remember who sang which part. Maybe she sang top and I sang middle. I can't remember that configuration, but I remember thinking, okay, I hope I can blend with her, and we had a great blend. We have a similar
Mm.
approach, a similar sound, and it was scary. I felt a little, I was a neophyte, like I just had started, but I felt supported and just wanted to have fun. And we would go over the material. We rehearsed a
And did
lot.
you have like choreography and the whole
Not
deal?
really. We just,
Uh-huh.
we're just doing a little step touch kind of stuff. Have
Uh-huh.
you ever been on a cruise ship?
I was married to a comedian and we used to cruise all the time. Yeah.
Okay,
Mhm.
so I remember like trying to do steps, and the ship would start to move, and we rock forward, and the heels would come up off the floor, and the toes would stay, and you kind of got used to this weird sensation. So there wasn't a lot of dancing, although the kids are dancing on cruise ships all the time. You got those
Yes, they
those
are.
production shows,
Yes, they
and they're
do.
fabulous. God bless them. I can't even do a pirouette now without my head spinning. It's bad. Anyway, there was a time, but yeah, that ship
Okay,
has
so
sailed.
you did Connie and
Yeah.
then what happened?
I think that might have been when I went to Tokyo Disneyland.
Okay.
Because chronologically, I'm not real good at the chronology,
Okay.
but that was kind of the '80s. And then I worked, and then I came home. I had a soft node when I got home on my vocal
Oh.
cord because I didn't have any training. Remember, I didn't have any training. I just sang because I could sing. So when I got home, my voice
Oh,
was kind of like Demi Moore, like breaking, like that kind of thing. And so
that
when I
must
got
have been scary because now you've
oh,
got this career and now you've got this node. Yeah.
that's right. Yeah, it was
Hmm.
real scary, Vicki. It was
Hmm.
because the thing is when you know your voice, you are your instrument when you're a
Hmm.
singer, and so it's holistic. Everything has to work together. If you got a cold, if you've got allergies, if you got a stomach ache, a headache, like everything, you're the vessel. So whenever one little thing goes wrong, you always wonder, is the voice coming back? What do I do to get it back? What if it doesn't come back? How long is this going to take? Like, it's not like getting a new guitar if you're a guitar player. God bless our guitar players. We both are we're hooked up to guitar players, so we know. But when I got home with my soft node, I went to Dr. Morton Cooper. He wrote a great book. I don't think he's with us any longer. He might be. But anyway, the book is called Change Your Voice, Change Your Life. And I went and he scoped me and said the node was soft. I can't tell you how relieved I was. And he
A
said,
soft note is a good thing. Okay, I don't know
that's
about
right.
the.
It's like
Okay,
a callus on your foot versus just like a little soft, little sore spot.
okay,
So soft is soft and hard is like a callus. That's
okay,
what you don't want.
okay.
So I said, thank God, what do I have to do? And he said, well, vocal rest. So I did vocal rest for weeks. And then I started studying. I got a teacher. I got a great vocal coach. I worked with a couple of people, Andy Bettner and Eric Feuderer down in Newport. And then I worked with Seth Riggs a couple of times. And then I worked with some of his associates. Evelyn Hallis helped my voice so much. Kate Peters. I had a lesson today, by the way, y'all, because I have a couple of big shows coming up, and my voice is it's a little funny right now. I don't know why. It's just probably the weather or my allergies or whatever. So I work with Aretha Scruggs, who's a brilliant, brilliant woman, and she's my teacher. And I coach with her, and we work on placement and pitch. And if I'm
I
feeling a little
love
funny,
that.
yeah, I'm a lifelong student. You
I
can't,
know.
you have to. You owe it to yourself. You know what I mean? I want to feel confident, strong. I need stamina. And so you need someone to listen to you, I think, and hear, and what if they can hear how to tweak. And I think it's challenging to work with a pro singer because we sing for a living. I know what I'm doing, but I'm human. Like I know that there's things where I maybe have made concessions. Maybe I'm tricking myself. Maybe I'm pushing in a wrong spot. Maybe I'm just trying to get through something. And I want her to reel me in and say, which she does. Well, I hear this, and she's so good at the nuances. So I had a great lesson
Mm.
today, right before I got on with you, and so yeah, I'm always working on it. I lost my voice during the pandemic. I got COVID. Terry, my husband, and I both got COVID in December of 2022, and it was rough. I'm not gonna lie, and we were vaccinated and all that kind of stuff, but it took my voice. And
Wow.
I had no stamina. I couldn't sustain notes. Just like
How long did that go on?
a year almost.
Oh my.
I know nobody knew, because I knew kind of how to work with it, but we'd be in the studio and it was just so,
That must have
de-
been terrifying.
yeah, it was. I started
Mhm.
thinking like, well, what else can I do, right? But I thought, no, I'm
Wow.
just going to stay with it. And I worked with my coaches and I drank my water and I did my exercises and I was just
Wow.
diligent. And it came back. I mean, no, I sang. I was singing through all of that, but I knew
You knew
that
the difference.
I wasn't 100%, and I knew it. So I did a lot of breath work, a ton of breath work, because that's where the power comes from.
Mm.
The breath, and then allowing it to come through you, and supporting this sound that you're making, and placement is everything. So I encourage anyone who's a speaker like yourself, or like an audiobook narrator, or a singer like myself, or anyone who is speaking for a living, teachers yelling over classrooms and stuff. A great voice lesson, vocal coaching, will save your voice for the
Wow.
rest of your life, and it will fine tune your voice for the rest of your life, and you'll learn how to hear what's happening in there. I have tinnitus. This is all TMI probably, But I want everyone to know, like, everyone has limitations. Everyone's got shit. Everyone's got stuff going on. I have tinnitus in my left ear. I've had it since 2014, and I think we think it's in the key of G. My tone, whatever. I can't hit a G
Snuffy
right.
has it. It makes him crazy
Makes
sometimes.
you crazy sometimes.
Yeah, yeah.
So I work around my tinnitus. Like I have to think, okay, what key is that? So
Wow,
sometimes
that's
I'll sing really strong and really hard, and it'll get a little louder, or it starts to do an overtone, and I have to just trust that I'm in charge. Like that, the note I'm singing is the note I want out there, not that sound. It's crazy. You're in your head a
wow.
lot as a singer. You're in your head a lot, but we persevere. We persevere.
I have to say, my daughter, musical theater was her thing, and she was
That's right.
auditioning for college, and she started taking vocal lessons at the very end with a guy named Jimmy Smagula, who was a Broadway actor and
Okay.
coach.
Yeah.
He changed the way she sang. I watched it happen in like 6 sessions. And it just she all of a sudden this voice came out
Oh
that out
man,
of like, oh my God. And he taught her how to sing, and he
how
taught her
thrilling. Is she
yeah.
still singing?
She's lawyering. She's in law
All
school,
right,
and
girl. Oh, that's
she's
right.
yeah, and she misses it. But she got out of school out of NYU Tisch, but she got into Tisch, and she got out during
Wow.
COVID, and there were no gigs, there were no
No.
plays, there was no
Mm-mm.
theater, there was
I
no nothing.
know,
So,
the craziest time of all. It's great she has, you know, singing is a thing you can do forever if you want it, even if she
and she's
just
marrying
sings.
a jazz musician. She's getting
Really?
married.
Oh,
Yes.
congratulations, Mazel Tov.
Thank you.
That's amazing.
So,
I
so
love
anyway,
that.
so okay, so studying. Okay, so you had this gig with Connie Stevens. You go back to Disney.
Mm-hmm.
Some big things are about to happen. So
Yeah.
okay, so keep going.
Well, I mean, the next sort of landmarks I remember were
Herman Matthews is Melanie giving you hearts and flowers.
Hermie. I
Herman.
love Herman. Hi,
Me
honey.
too. And
How you
Crystal's
doing? I
here
miss you.
too.
Hey, Crystal, with the fabulous earrings.
Yeah.
I started working with Bill Medley. Sorry, I started working with Bill Medley and Bobby Hatfield, the Righteous Brothers, at
Now,
their
how did
club.
you get that?
They needed a singer, and I was referred, and I just went and sang, and they were like,
So
"Sure, you can do the
Mel, with things happening to you from friends, is that how you were getting?
a lot." Yeah, I was auditioning for things. I mean, I'm leaving out a lot, of course, because we don't have all night. But yeah, I was auditioning and getting some plays here and there, and some uh, print work here and there, different things. But
And how were you getting that stuff?
I had an agent.
You had an agent.
I had a real people models agent, and she was getting me things. And then I'm trying to remember who. Well, there was always that time in the '80s when we were like each other's agents, when we would like fake like send letters and faxes to people and calling people. Oh yeah, who did anyone not do that? Because we did. I'll out myself. I'm not
Oh,
guilty.
hell
I
yeah.
I don't feel bad about that.
Fake the
Everybody,
resume. Yeah, sure.
yeah, fake. The resume was cool, but it's like, hi, I'm Diane. I'm calling on behalf of Melanie Taylor, and she's interested in coming in for your Tide commercial and whatever. One of my old roommates. We did. What can I tell you?
Yeah.
But anyway, so there was a lot of that kind of, a lot of running around, a lot of. I was taking some classes back then, different things, just like you do. And then excuse me, I was, like I said, working at Disney, singing with bands, and oh yeah, I was singing with bands back at the park. I didn't go back to kids. I went back and sang with bands. Who I'm still friends with today, a lot of those guys, and got a call to audition or come sing for the Righteous Brothers. They had a few clubs in down here in SoCal, and one was in Lakewood, and so I went and I just sang, and they hired me, and so I worked with
Wow.
them off and on for, oh man, 5, yeah, 5 years maybe a little more, doing
Talk
the.
about harmonies. I mean,
I
wow.
know, right?
Oh,
And all the people I worked with were fantastic musicians and singers.
mm.
Great, 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 great. So we worked together a lot and did themed shows, like 50s, 60s rock, uh, shows and stuff. And it's called the Hop, so it's like 50s and 60s music mostly, with a little funk thrown in, a little R&B thrown
That
in.
must have been fun. It sounds
Yeah.
fun.
Oh yeah, it
Hmm.
was really fun.
Hmm.
And I think we did like maybe 2 shows a week. I can't remember now. Maybe like it was like a Thursday, Friday, or Friday, Saturday. And then I was doing casuals. I was singing at weddings, and and in special events, a lot of that kind of stuff over the years, more into the 90s, I would say. And then I was working for, so yeah, so then I was singing with the brothers at their clubs, and sometimes they would sing, sometimes they wouldn't. I mean, mostly it was just like this troupe of us that would do these reviews, musical reviews. And then I got a call to, like, someone came in, they were looking to replace someone in a two-girl group in 1989 called Bardot. And this was in the age of the girl group of like Expose and Pajama Party, if you remember any of those. Who else? A lot of those little girl groups that were, Expose was really big. And so I did and signed a record deal and did one record
Wow.
with Bardot, and still am friends to this day with the woman that I was blessed to work with. Her name's Stacy, and we texted each other just yesterday. She's so funny. She's just really, really funny. I was going to say something that she said, but I'll leave that for now. Anyway, she's just great. So I made a lifelong friend and did this record called, is it up on the wall? No. What was the record called? Shangri-La. God help me. This is what you get when you like try to get me to remember stuff. So we had our record deal. We went all over the place. We did track shows, made a little money. I bought a house, and I was married at the
Nice.
time. Yeah, it was great. So then, time wore on, and I think I went on the road another year later with a guy named David Halliday, who was Johnny Halliday's son. He's a French, they call him like the French Elvis, but he's really more like James Dean. Like he had the leather jacket and the jeans. That was Johnny. His son David. My friend and I went on tour with him in France for like, gosh, was I gone for 6 or 8 weeks? It was a long time. Then came home and sat for a second, and Bette Midler was looking to go back on tour, and I had gone back to Disney just to go back to work and do something after my record deal ended. And my friend Susan Salgado was with Bobby Ball Agency. Hi, Susan, if you're there. I love her. And she was kind of representing me, but kind of not. It's a little bit of a gray area, so I'm going to leave it at that. But she had been she had been representing me at Bobby Ball for commercials, I think it was. And then this opportunity came up to audition for Bette. Anyway, and I was like, nah, I don't want to do that.
Why?
And she'd been, well, I don't know, because I was like, I already have a job. I love Bette Midler, but I don't know. It's like, what do I have to get time off work and blah, blah, blah. And it's going to be a whole thing. And my friend Jerry Lynn was like, you have to go and audition. You have to do this. And I was like, but I don't feel like it. Oh, but you have. So it was like, she wore me down.
Wow.
So I said, I don't even know what I'm going to sing. Sing Natural Woman. It's fine. I have a chart. I'll send it to you. So she faxes me the chart. So I go, and it's 500 women.
Oh my God.
They had gals coming in from I think they might have had a New York audition. I can't remember now. I know for a fact that at the end of the day, they saw 500 women.
Oh my God.
And I was like, okay, so I go natural. Oh, what you done for me? You make me feel so good inside. And I just want to be. So I did the tune, and then I remember I had the number. Everybody, y'all know if you audition, you had a number, house number, like whatever. And I finished the
Sure.
tune, and I just threw the number. That got me a callback, I think.
Wow.
I had 6 callbacks after that,
What?
and got down to the final 9 women, and then they just started mixing us up.
Now, was Bette like sitting out in the house? Like, would you see Bette sitting out in the house?
We were at we were at a dance studio on
Oh,
Hollywood
so
Boulevard.
she was like right there. Okay.
Oh yeah,
Oh.
it was unbelievable. We were dancing for Jesus. It was like so many things. Do this, and I'll do that, and I'll do this, and I'll do that, and sing and dance and sing and dance. And then there's like I don't think we auditioned with the wheelchairs.
Was it like a chorus line where they would like teach you a thing?
Yeah,
Like
teach
6 of you would come out and then do oh my God, that must have been so much pressure.
Oh, it was ridiculous. I was younger then.
Did you like, were you good at that? Like, you were a dancer, so you were good at remembering all the combinations and everything, I'm
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, that definitely comes with practice,
Yeah.
And yes, I was able to do all of that, but I just was like, are y'all going to pick somebody? This is callback number 5. Like, let's, can we get it together?
Over how long a period of time?
Oh, like 7 weeks, 6 weeks, 5, 6
Wow.
weeks. forever, 4, 5,
Wow.
6 weeks, forever. So that's why I was finally like, I can't keep subbing out of my job to come out here and dance for y'all again and sing again. So I was like, and someone said, just go one more time. You just need to go one more time. I'm like, okay. And Susan was like, and so I did. I got the job, and it was wild. I remember, I'll never forget. They finally, it was like, what, that cup game where they put something under the
Yeah,
cup and you
yeah.
move the cup. That's what it felt like. It was like we're just moving around the room. You stand over there. No, you stand over here. You stand.
Wow.
I'm just remembering it now. I haven't thought about this in forever. And so they finally got down to this last of us, the other two women and me that I ended up doing the job with, and was like, and everybody knew it. Like it was just in the room. You could just feel it. They knew. You knew. And off we went. So that was
Wow. And so, okay, so I want to
amazing,
hear. We
actually.
we want to hear. So tell us about Bette. So what was that experience like?
I mean, I've never felt so like it was something I was called to do. And she
Mhm.
made sure that we were wrung out. Like you singing, you're dancing, you're doing props, costumes. There's bits, there's skits, there's attitude. Like it was like she has this whole approach to her performance. At least then, for sure.
Mhm.
That was just like this globe. She's creating a world, and you're just part of it. I learned so much
Mm.
from watching her. I learned so much from listening to her. She would have her. Now remember, y'all, this is back in the '90s. Like there's no devices. She would have her pages, and she'd be going over her scripts and her lines because everything is scripted. And then it's effortless. It sounds like she's ad libbing, but she's not. She's
Right.
very studied. She's very serious, and I just love her. I love her. She was really good to me and really good to us.
That's my question. How was she with was she fun?
So
I mean,
fun. She
I
was
know
fun
she
and
there's
funny. She's fun and
yeah.
funny, but that woman on stage is sort of a persona. Like her real life, she's very sort of bookish and and sober in the sense of like she's serious about life and about her family, about her friendships with people. And so when she's on stage as Bette Midler with a capital B and a capital M, like that Bette Midler is a little bit different. It's an amped version of who she really is.
Hmm.
She's been very good to me, and I love her and I miss her, and I learned so much, and I was able to use everything that I had learned over my whole life
Wow.
in this job. And we would go through things. We would go through production numbers from start to finish, and if something went wrong, sort of like if it's like a 6 minute number, something went wrong 2 minutes in, oh, stop, start over. 6 minutes in, start over. So it created this kind of momentum and traction that you got to really dig into your process. You know what I
Mm.
mean? And that's so rare. You don't really have the time for that anymore. But I loved the women I worked with, and the band was great. Everybody was incredible. We were
And the
radio.
audiences could not love her more.
Man, I
And
tell you what.
so I got to see her in a low dolly. I had just gotten off a plane, and
Yes.
Samantha and I we sat, we, at 6 in the morning, we got online, and it's the only time in my life I've ever done standing room only, and I would only do it for Bette. And
Oh my
yeah.
God, wasn't it something?
Oh
Yeah,
my
we
God.
got to see Dolly, and I was just in a puddle after. I was
Oh my
so
God.
proud of her. It was
Oh
the
my
role she
God.
was born to play.
Mm.
I'm so happy she got to do it. I got to work with her a little bit on that, and that was
Oh,
really fun
really?
too.
So now,
Yeah.
if you run into Bette in a restaurant or something, how are you going to be with each other?
It'll feel like picking up where we left off, I hope. Yeah, for sure.
Mhm.
I email her every once in a while. I
Mhm.
worked with a couple of the guys in the original band, and I sent her a picture. And so sometimes I'll come across old pictures of us or her with Sophie when Sophie was a baby
Oh.
and like 6, 7 years old. She was out with us, 6, 7, 8 years old. I'd be like, I just found this old picture and just wanted to say hi. I like to think that we'd be real cool. I,
Hmm.
yeah, I think I'm sure we would. Yeah, she's great.
So that did it change your life in a way?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think it did. I
Hmm.
think it gave me a lot of confidence,
Hmm.
because it wasn't always easy. And it's the easy stuff, like failing really well, or being, having to really work at something, or strive at something and maybe not do well and then do better. That's the thing that really makes you who you are. I don't think that success makes you better. I think that failure makes you better. And I think that, and I'm not saying I failed at that job. I'm saying the work that it took to do to do it was life changing. I was pretty fearless after that.
So
And
you worked with another woman of such stature. You worked with Barbara.
just for a
So,
minute, yeah,
okay,
just
but
for a minute, yeah. Well,
what was
I have a
that experience?
Well, I was terrified because, well, there were, I sang supporting vocals with a group for the Al Gore nomination convention,
Mm.
and then I worked with David Foster, and I was in his house band, and she would come and do a couple of tunes here and there, and then no one knows these stories, and then years later, a couple, 2, 3 years later, probably not that long, but anyway, he was having a Christmas party and he called me, his assistant called me and was like, David wants to know if you might want to come and, lead some Christmas carols at his house. Just an intimate group of people, blah, blah, blah. I go, when? She's like, tonight. Mind you, it's monsooning. I'm living in Redondo Beach. She's in Malibu. And I'm like, tonight? Like, if you could see me, I look crazy. I'm like in my sweats on my couch. It's raining cats and dogs. She's like, well, can you make it? I'm like, yeah, sure. So I pull myself together, get in the car, drive to Malibu in the storm, and I walk in trying not to feel like a drowned rat. And in the room is Jenny Jones, Wayne Gretzky, Heidi Klum, Seal, who I'm
Nice.
mad about, James Brolin, and Barbra Streisand, and a couple other assorted sundry people. And I'm like, so what do you want me to do? He's like, just come over and, by the piano and whatever. So we start singing Christmas carols, and then we all kind of end up in this like circle in the middle of his living room. And Barbra Streisand is standing there with her little French beret on and a little black outfit. And she's like, with her beautiful hands, Silent Night. Oh, and I'm like, I'm singing with Barbra Streisand.
Oh my God.
Don't freak out. Don't freak out. Don't freak out. I'm in the inside, I'm like freaking out. And she was just really sweet and tiny. She's a really small person.
Really? I saw her
Yeah.
speak, but wow, yeah.
So
Wow.
that's my Barbra Streisand story.
That's a good story.
It was fun.
So how did you get to be the one woman to sing with Aerosmith? How did that happen? I mean, come on.
I have to say, a lot of what has happened to me, for me, has happened for me.
Mhm.
It's just been like, I'm like Zelig, like that Woody Allen movie. Like
You
he just
are. I
shot.
mean, your list is crazy.
I don't really know. I had never had a plan. Don't do what I did. You should plan, people. I never planned anything. I'm scared to plan things now. No, it was after I toured with John Mayer for a year, which was great. And then
Oh, wait, I want to hear about that because I know that you were a fangirl, right?
terrible. I outed myself early on so that I wouldn't embarrass myself. But I was like,
How-
I have all your songs on my iPad. iPod, which I did.
Yeah. And how did he
So at the
react to
time,
that? Yeah.
he laughed. I said, I have to tell you this now so that in case I freak out, you'll know why. But yeah, I had worked with him and gave his manager my card and said, if you ever need someone, call me, and he did. How about that? 2 years
Wow.
later. But you were
You
asking
never
about
know.
you don't. That's why I think
Where did you meet his manager? Who were you singing with when you met his
David
manager?
Foster. I was doing a special event with David with a couple other singers, and we were just doing support vocals. We were in the band. It was Alicia Keys and John and a few other singers that David was working with. He works with does great work with young singers, whatever. So it was like a
He
big.
marries young singers.
Well, he's done that as well. This is
Yeah.
true. God bless. Yeah. But yeah. So yeah, you're funny. So we're doing the thing, and he sang, and he and Alicia are good friends, and they were very sweet together, singing and carrying on. And I just took it upon myself. I just said,
Good
hey,
for you.
by the way, listen, the Bible says a closed mouth doesn't get fed. And I believe in that. I think, the worst that can happen is someone can say no, but sometimes no means not now.
There's only three answers to any question.
Yes.
Yes, not right now, something better. That's it.
I love
There's
it.
no no in
That's
the universe.
so good.
Yes, not right now, something better. That's it. I'm waiting right this minute to find out if James Taylor is doing my show next week.
Come on, sweet
Yeah.
baby.
He
Come
uh,
on,
he
sweet baby
he
James.
said that that I should get in touch with him today to confirm. And
Well,
I wrote him this morning and I'm waiting to hear back. I'm
I hope
waiting
you're
to
here while we're on so that we can be excited with
I,
you.
I, I know I've been waiting all day. I keep checking, but I haven't heard back from him yet. I haven't got, I haven't,
There's
yes, not
magic
right
in the
now.
air, though. I have to say, there's magic in the air. I had a couple magical things happen to me the past couple of days. We saw a meteor shower
Oh,
by
oh,
accident.
nice.
We were up on the roof, me and Terry. And
All
it was
right,
like,
so
so
let's
I'm
get back
sorry.
to we're gonna
Look,
get back
something
to the
shiny.
wait,
Squirrel.
wait, wait,
Like
wait. We're gonna get back. What sign are you?
Capricorn,
And what sign is Terry?
Libra.
Okay, that's very good. We're going to get back to the career in a minute. I want to find out how you met Terry, and because we're going to talk
Oh,
about that for a minute. Terry
this is
Woolman,
this
your
is a
wonderful
really
husband.
yes, he's the best. I'm so lucky. God help him because he puts up with all my crap. He's the kindest person I've ever met in my life. He is
You,
the kindest person. He is. He's got a heart the size of Texas, and there's not a mean bone in his body. I don't know how he does it in this business because I'm mad about a lot of things most of the time. I'm
yeah.
just salty. I'm salty, but he's not, And so I think that we are. That's why we're compatible, because we kind of complement each other. But how do we meet? We were just working together years ago. We were doing casuals and special events together, and we became friends. And fast forward another 10 years or something, we were both single, and we just started spending more time together. And it literally was just that simple. It wasn't a meet cute necessarily or anything, but I think, we were both in a different place than when we first met, obviously. But I also think that we were just ready
How long
to
ago was that it
he
evolved?
I would say 2010. So it's been a while. It's been, gosh,
Hmm.
almost 15 years now. I can't
Hmm.
believe it. He's an
Sweet.
incredible man. He's an incredible human being. Beautiful guy,
Yes, he
inside and out.
is.
Yeah,
Yes,
I'm
you
I'm
both are.
I'm
You're a
really
great
blessed.
couple.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. So now okay. So you played with John Mayer. Wait, we were going to Aerosmith. So how did the Aerosmith thing happen?
I was when I was singing with John,
Yeah.
Steve Jordan, the
Oh,
magnificent, the legendary Steve Jordan
amazing.
was his drummer.
Right.
And when I got off that tour, at least a year went by. We stayed in touch and stuff, but I got a call from Steve saying that now see y'all gonna have to help me. What's the super group with Johnny Depp and Alice Cooper and
Yeah.
Joe Perry? They have that group, right? And they were looking to do some recording and wanted to know if Steve was saying they need someone to come in and you know, do some riffing and just do a couple of tracks. I was like, okay, cool. And Joe Perry was the key because
Tony's going to tell us the name of that group. You're going to write it, Tony. Okay. I know you
there's a
will because
chat.
I
I'm so
can't
happy
think
I
of it
can't see a
either.
chat
Yeah,
because I'm
there's a
so
chat.
like
Yeah, go ahead.
squirrel.
Okay.
I'm glad I can't see it.
Hollywood Vampires. Thank you, Crystal.
Thank you. I
Yes.
knew someone would know. So Steve was looking to help them find someone to come and do a couple of tracks with Hollywood Vampires, and so he called me, and I was like, sure. A couple months went by, nothing was happening, nothing was happening. And I kind of forgot all about it. And then the call came back around, and I was actually on a gig with someone with a bunch of people, but my friend Laura Jane Jones, who's a brilliant singer and fabulous. She sings with Julio, sang with Enrique Iglesias and a bunch of other people.
Oh, my friend Tony Bruno was his musical director.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And
I've known
Tony.
Tony for almost 40 years.
Oh my
I used to
God.
book him
Wasn't
in New York.
you're kidding?
No,
Wasn't
yeah.
he? Didn't he play with Joe Cocker?
Not that
I
I
might be
know.
thinking of somebody else because
I
I
don't
did a
think
minute
Tony
with Joe
played.
Cocker too. But
He
anyway,
might have. He
I
might
thought
have.
it was him. Anyway, I think I know Tony. Great guy.
Yes.
Long short, I get the call to do this session, and it's like the next day or 2 days later or something. And I turn to Laura Jane. I'm like, you want to go do the session with me? I need a couple of girls, and blah blah blah. And I said, yeah, I just like let's dress up, pull up, because that's what we do anyway.
Dress up, pull up.
Pull up, you gotta do it.
Boy.
I'd rather be overdressed than underdressed, because you don't know what you're walking into, and you want to feel strong. So we
Love
go in
that.
there, yeah. We go in there, and it's Jack Douglas who produced and engineered Double Fantasy for John Lennon, the last John
Wow.
Lennon record. And I'm looking at him, I'm
Wow.
like, I think I know who that is. I'm trying to be cool because I'm super not cool, you guys. I'm really kind of like a geek. I see Laura, I'm like, it's Jack Douglas. And then there's Joe Perry, and they're behind the board. They're in the control room. And I'm like, okay, whatever. I'm thinking Hollywood Vampires. Well, that's fine. And they're both lovely. Hello, ladies, this and that. So we go in and I can't remember the studio offhand. I don't think it was Village. It was in somewhere in Hollywood. But anyway, we go in. It's a big, big room that they've got the vocal booth set up in. So we are somewhat at a distance to the control room, which of course is encased in glass, in case anyone is listening that doesn't know that world. So we're like across this big room in the little vocal booth with the mics, and we're starting to get sound. The next thing I know, I look up, and there's this commotion in the booth, and a couple people are walking in, and Steven Tyler walks in with like a bodyguard, and I'm like, what the heck? And she looks at me like, what the I said, I didn't know. I didn't know, dude, what? So it turns out it wasn't a Hollywood Vampires record. It was an Aerosmith record. And
Wow.
now I'm sweating. Now I'm like, son of a bitch. So and now
Wow.
it's gone, and we're on the card. So now it's gone from 2 songs to 4 songs, and it's a whole thing. And oh my gosh, it was so awesome. So Laura's like, "What in the world?" So I'm like, "Told you." So aren't you glad you dressed up?
Wow.
So we start chopping, and he's like, "Hey," blah, blah, blah. And so the whole Steven Tyler thing, and so as the session goes on, he's starting to get
Wow.
juiced, and we're starting to do these tracks. He comes in the room. He's very feral, y'all. If y'all don't know, what you see is what you get with this guy. What you see on stage is very much how he is. He's just 100% who he is. He
Right.
comes in and gets right in the middle of us and starts singing on the microphone and stuff. Like, doesn't have cans on. He's just like, cans are headphones.
Right.
Doesn't He's just like starts singing, and me and Laura are laughing. We're like, oh my
Oh
god,
my God.
this is happening. This is the coolest thing that's ever happened to me. So that was that. So we finish the session. We take all the pictures. We shake all the hands. We hug. We do all the things. We leave. We're like, I can't even describe it. And me and her are like, what the? So good for us. Isn't that great? Okay, case closed. The check will be in the mail, whatever. A couple of days later, I get this call, and I'm living in Redondo, and I was like walking to the post office, and my phone rang, and it's what do you call it? No caller ID. I'm like, I'm not answering that. It's probably spam.
Oh.
So I walk to the post office. I go back, and I see there's a voicemail. I'm like, I wonder. And so I let time goes by. I'm like, not even tripping, because I didn't know. I didn't know who it was. It still says no caller ID. So I finally listened to the voicemail, and it says, "Hey Melanie, this is Steven
No.
Tyler.
No.
Hey, you were a fantastic, blah blah blah. We thought you were amazing. Blah, blah. I don't know if I could afford you, and I don't know if you ever been on tour with any bands, but I was wondering, would you want to go on tour with Aerosmith this summer? Like, we're just gonna do a few dates and this and that." And I'm like,
Oh my
I immediately
God.
run over to my girlfriend's house across the street, and I'm like, listen to this, listen to this. This is, I just listen to this. And so Joanne is like, Melanie, oh my god. So then I called the woman who negotiates for me,
Wow.
and we did the thing, and that's
Wow.
another hour conversation. But that was it was pretty great, though. I have to say it was great. So actually, he was excuse me, he was a judge on American Idol at the time, and I guess they were probably going to go in hiatus because it was maybe May or something, or June, and in the
Wow.
band, my friend Mindy Abair, who was playing sax in either in the band or she was a special guest. I can't remember. But Stephen was a judge, and he approached Mindy, and he was like, "Hey, I was wondering if would you want to maybe go on tour with us? We're gonna do some dates and this and that." And he's like, "I've got this singer. She's really cool. Her name's Melanie Taylor." And Mindy was like, "She's my best friend." Are you kidding? Me and Mindy came up in the trenches starting in the like late 90s, early 2000s playing weddings and bar mitzvahs and stuff. And
Wow.
he couldn't believe that she knew me because whatever, it's just what are the odds? And she was just there that one day, and so she came out, and so we got down. It was cool. And it was just she and I were the
Wow.
only women, except for the women, a couple of great women on the staff. But on stage, it would have been, I mean, I would have been fine. But how much greater was it that my friend was there? One of my best friends was there.
Wow. That's
It was
amazing.
real cool. It was real cool. It was a blessing. It was
Amazing. All right, so I'm
huge.
going to ask you a couple more. So Elton John, how'd you get to sing with Elton?
I again with David Foster. We were doing.
David's been very good to you, huh?
He's been. I should say, hey David, I'm available for another couple of weeks if you got anything. No, I loved all my time working with him, doing sessions and all kinds of stuff. So Elton John, we were doing Andre Agassi's Grand Slam for Children. We Andre used to do these. I know I'm walking back and forth. Andre used to do these huge charity events and raise millions of dollars for kids, which was incredible. And they were called the Grand Slam. And so Elton John and Billy Joel did one when they did the dueling pianos thing.
Mm-hmm.
But Elton came out, and I, of course, was beside myself thinking that we would get to support him and do a few oohs and ahs. And I was myself, Will Wheaton, and Nita Whitaker, and he was on his way out for sound check, and I was nervous because it's like a
Yeah,
hero of mine. Come on, it's like meeting
sure.
the Pope or something. And so I'm like talking to Nita, and she's like sitting over there, and she taps me on my shoulder. She's like, I turn around, and he's walking to the piano, and I'm like, okay. And he's got on a blue Adidas tracksuit. I'll never forget it. And he sits down, and he's like, da 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 da, blue jean baby, LA lady. He starts singing Tiny Dancer, and the tears. So I was weeping. I was like, I was born a poor black child, and I'm sitting on stage singing with Elton John.
Oh my
Like,
God.
this is why I never planned anything. I could never have planned that. I just happened to be in the right place at the right time. And I was prepared, and the opportunity came, and I was available, and I just felt grateful, you know, just grateful. It could have been anybody, and it has been. I have so many friends in this business. I'll tell y'all, I have so many hundreds of people that I know that do what I do and do it better and in a fresher
Well,
way, in a different way, in their own way. And I just love that we all get to do this. Music is it's a healer, it's a helper, it's a guide. It gets you out of yourself. It helps you to remember, and it helps you to forget.
I love that. I'm writing that down. It helps you to remember and to forget.
Yeah, it kind of
Um,
it kind of meets you where you are. There's always a song. That's why when he played Tiny Dancer, I lost it because I remember being a little girl and hearing that for the first time and Blue Jean Baby, LA Lady, like what did that even mean? So that's it's a gift, and I don't take it for granted, and I realize it could go away tomorrow or I could choose to leave tomorrow, but I will never take any of it for granted.
I love that. All right, I have a couple more questions for you, then I'll let you go. One, we have to talk about Barry, but also we're going to talk about your gig
Aw,
that's coming up on
Barry.
July 18th. But so how did
Yes.
the Barry thing happen?
I got a referral. I got called to come in, and Deborah Bird was stepping away from the job, and she had been the vocal director and brilliant singer, and may she rest in peace. We lost her
Mm.
a couple months ago. She was Barry's right hand woman. She's so was. It's hard to talk about her in the present past tense, but she was so gifted, so talented, beautiful voice, vibrant personality, incredibly smart, new music, could play,
Mm.
and stuff. But it was her time was done there, and so they wanted another singer. I don't believe in saying replacing because no one could replace her, but they were looking for another singer, and so I went in and I
How long
sang
ago was this?
2005.
Oh, long
The
time
first
ago.
time. Well, yes, I did a few years with him, and then I worked with John Mayer and a few other people, and then I got called to go back. I want to say 2017, but I'm not really sure what year it was. I think it was 2017. He called me to come back, and I did. So yeah, except for the COVID years, it's been since so 2017, 18, 19, 20. Not 20, and then we went. I think we went back to work in Oh man, the end of 2020 or beginning of 2021, I can't remember. But
And
anyway,
very steady work.
yeah, we do two. When we're sort of on hiatus right now because we just did that big thing in England. We did a
Right.
residency at the Palladium, which was a triumphant for him, and we are going out again at the end of July, and then back like 10 days, I think, and then another 10 days in the middle of August. We have a residency in Vegas where we do 2 weekends a month, and
Which
booked.
I was blessed to see, and
I
it's
know.
fantastic. You guys are
Yay.
so great. It was so
Thank you.
wonderful. So
I was
wonderful.
so tickled that you guys finally got to come, you and Snuff.
It was so joyous.
Oh,
So
good.
joyous.
I
Yeah.
know. It was so great to have you there and to hang out for a minute afterwards. Yeah, so come back. But yeah, we're booked to the end of this year. And so yeah, that's it's a big
Okay, so
chunk.
Diva, tell us about July 18th at the Catalina Bar and Grill. Come on, doing your own thing,
I am
which
very
is
excited.
fantastic.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you. I'm as nervous as a cat in a room full of rocking chairs, but that's just how I am. Because, I set the bar so
Nervous
high
as a
that I can
cat in a room
barely,
full of rocking
so
chairs.
old. That's one of the most antique. I sound like my grandmother. But I am,
Yes,
I
love
mean,
to
I think
hear.
it's because I care so much about it. But once I start singing, I'm usually okay.
Of
But
course you
yes,
will be.
so I was very, very blessed to have Chris Isaacson approached me to do my show. I've done the Diva Diaries several times in different incarnations in different places. I think we did it once at Vibrato. I've done a couple of special events. I've done it at the Laguna Beach Festival of Arts. But this in a couple weeks we're
I
going to do.
saw you do it in Sherman Oaks. This was years ago. This was before COVID.
Uh-huh.
Maybe,
Oh, yeah, at Cafe Cordial
no, it was outside.
in
I saw
Sherman
you do
Oaks.
an outdoor thing. You and
Wow.
Terry.
What?
Yes, in
You have to
Sherman
think on that.
Oaks.
Oh, that was just a two
It was
P two three. No,
it
was a
was
big
like
band. Was a big
it was a
to
bunch
do.
of you. Yeah. And it
Wow,
was like
I can't
before
remember.
COVID. I don't know. Anyway,
If you
yeah, I
think
saw
of
you
it,
guys.
remind me
Yeah,
because
yeah,
I'm tripping. I can't remember.
yeah.
Well,
Anyway, go
anyway,
ahead.
that's all right. So I didn't know Chris. Chris is a very prolific presenter here in town,
Mhm.
and he books the Catalina Room. I went and I got called at sort of last minute to sing at a Joni Mitchell tribute. I love me some Joni Mitchell. And I filled in and did a couple of tunes on last November 7th, which was her, I think, 80th birthday. So we had a lovely evening. Did a couple of Joni tunes, and then he just asked me if I'd ever worked at Catalina. And I said, well, I've sung here a bunch, but I've never
Right.
done my own thing. I've worked with Clifford Bell and sung with a lot of support vocals for different friends and different people. So I said, no, but I got this show, I got this thing. So he booked me. I'm really excited. I've got my friends, a couple of my friends from the Manilow band are going to play. Terry will play. Y.L. Douglas, Ron Walters Jr. on keys, Y.L. on drums, Terry on guitar, J.V. Collier on bass. He plays with Bruce Hornsby. All these guys are incredible. And my two singers, Jamila Ford and Carol Hatchett. Carol Hatchett and I have been friends since we were Harlettes together.
Oh
So
gosh.
we go back. So we are super excited. Got a couple of special guests, surprise guests. I'm not going to say who that is, but you'll have to come and see. I think Vicki will have the link, or we can put the link in the.
The link's in the thing and it'll be in the
Oh,
line and
cool.
it'll be in the
Yay.
liner notes.
Okay,
And
good.
so tell us what kind of music that people can expect to hear from you.
Well, I'm a 70s kid, as you can tell. You can kind of look. I mean, is it obvious? Is it obvious? So it's my favorite. Some songs from my favorite female singer songwriters from the 70s and 80s. And so we got
You got
some,
to sing with Chaka, didn't you?
yes, at the Kennedy Center. I know, amazing.
You know, Snuff used to play with Chaka.
Did he? I think I
And
should
with
have
Donna
known that.
Summer, who you also got to.
Oh my God, the Donna Summer stories. Oh, she was just radiant, and that voice, her voice is so underrated. I think people don't real. I don't think if you really didn't listen to Donna Summer, "Love to Love You, Baby" that was like this
He
woman
toured with
could
Donna for like,
freaking. Snuffy will tell
yeah,
y'all
yeah,
she could sing the paint off the walls.
yeah.
You listen to her Lush Life, her standards albums, and some of her other stuff like this. She would cover Springsteen and She was a marvel. I tried to sing like Donna Summer. I'm not gonna even front. That voice, I'm like, I'm gonna try to do what you're doing. And you know what? But it was effortless. Her pitch, her intonation, her power, her instrument was just so profound and beautiful. I miss her. I miss her voice.
You going to sing Donna Summer?
I am doing a summer song. I think. We're doing. I'm actually doing another show this Sunday night at the Festival of Arts in Laguna, and we're going to do Finger on the Trigger. Look it up. No one does that. I don't even know why I'm doing it. I told my girls, I'm like, why am I doing this? This is so hard. There's a lot going on.
Good. You can
So
do it. You can
yeah.
rise to that challenge.
Thank you. Yeah. So we got Nina Simone, and we've got a Chaka, of course, and I'm doing an Aretha tune. I'm doing
Fabulous.
a Karen Carpenter. I'm doing Maria
Wow.
Muldaur. We all know what that song is. So yeah,
Midnight at the Oasis. Yes.
it's a different arrangement of it, but it's that song. We're gonna do a Streisand tune. So yeah, come on down. I got a few stories. I got stories to go with all those songs, why I picked them and what they mean. And
I
was an
love
AM
that.
radio kid.
I love when people, that's one of the things I love about James Taylor the most, and still
Yes.
going to see him perform, because he
Yes.
tells the story behind every song.
Yes.
And people don't do that anymore. That was the day the singer-songwriter would come out and tell you the story. And
Oh my God, right?
it changes everything.
It does.
It just makes the song magic. And it
That's
creates
right.
an intimacy between the audience and the singer and the performer.
You're so
Because
right.
now we know why you're singing it. Now we have a whole context
Yes.
and it has a meaning between us. Yeah, I
Has a
love
meaning
that. I'm so
between
glad
us.
you're going to do that.
Oh, thank you. I mean, I didn't write any of these songs, but yet
That's okay.
they
But
they
they
definitely
have
have
meaning to you.
they have meaning to me, and they have a place in my heart, and there's a reason. And why the songs I'm singing are songs I've sung ever since I first heard them. So along to the radio now, until I sang them live. So I'm just really looking forward to sharing with everybody, and I hope y'all can come join us. It's gonna be fun.
I, you know, I plan to be there. I plan to be,
Let's
we plan to be
see
there.
how it goes. See how it goes.
We plan to be there. I want to be there. And I just adore you.
I
And
adore
I'm
you.
so happy we finally did this and sat down.
Me too.
And,
Thank you, Vicki.
you're white, but you are a white light. You always are. You are a supportive and loving, and you show up, you suit up, you show up, and I just really appreciate you. I really, really do. Aside from
Thank you.
the talent is crazy, but that's a given. But it's who you are, and it's just a beautiful thing. And you and Terry are a gorgeous couple.
Thank you. Well, I'm just your reflection, and I appreciate you so much. I'm so happy that we're in each other's lives. I look forward to more fun hangs and more fun times with our fellas. Just cultivate more of what you love. That's my parting shot to everybody. Just cultivate more
that.
of what you love, and
And pack
Every-
wisely.
don't be stupid.
Don't
Don't be stupid, please. We can't afford you to be stupid. Like, get hip, get it together. Don't be stupid, and love harder. Just love a little bit harder, especially
all.
when it's hard. What can I say?
July 18th, Catalina Bar and Grill, Melanie Taylor.
Yep.
I love you.
I love you so much. Thanks for everybody tuning in. Thanks for hanging with us. Everybody take care of one another. Look after yourselves. Be good to yourselves.
Thank you, Melanie.